Okay, Mark Kleiser, Planner 2 with Mendocino County Planning and Building Services. I'm going to bring the Archaeological Commission for February 8th, 2023 to order at 2 o'clock, only to announce that we are going to bring this meeting back at 2:15 to allow time for our Native American representative to show up. So it is still 2 o'clock, and we will see everyone back at 2:15.
Okay. Right, we're back.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon again. Mark Kleiser, Planner 2 with Planning and Building Services, calling this February 8th, 2023 Archaeological Commission to order at 2:15. And I'm going to conduct roll call. Planning and Building Services representative is myself. I am here. Museum representative, Commissioner Dick.
Here.
Archaeologist representative, Commissioner Cull. Commissioner Cull, I think you're muted.
Okay, present.
Present, okay. Native American representative, Commissioner Lockhart.
Present.
And our new alternate representative, Commissioner Johnson.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Industry representative, we do not have one at this time. Moving on to item 2, Archaeological Commission administration. The applications listed below will be reviewed by the Archaeological Commission. You are invited to view the meeting on YouTube and provide any information pertinent to these applications. If you have photographs of the site, you are encouraged to email them to the above email address on the agenda by 2 p.m. on February 8th, 2023. And moving on to item 2A, which is discussion and possible action, including adoption of resolution of the Mendocino County Archaeological Commission finding that state or local officials continue to recommend measures to promote social distancing in connection with public meetings. I am going to make a motion that we continue to do that for this meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And roll call then. Planning and Building Services is yes. Museum representative?
Yes.
Archaeological representative?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Cole is archaeologist representative and you are alternate representative. Yeah. Commissioner Cole's a yes. Native American representative?
No.
And alternate representative?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, that's what it is.
Okay, motion carries. I just want to add at this point that this is the last Zoom meeting we will be having. Beginning next month, we will go back to in-person. So that means that, Bill, you will have to either come to Ukiah or I'm happy to announce that the museum has offered up an alternate space. Commissioner Dick will be attending in the alternate space at the museum. Commissioner Cull, if you wish to drive to the museum instead of all the way down here, that's an option for you as well. And I might extend that to the public as well. If anyone wants to attend a in-person Archaeological Commission meeting, they are welcome here in Ukiah or at our new alternate location at the museum in Willits. And Commissioner Dick, can you give that address and information out for us?
The location is 400 East Commercial Street in Willits, and it'll be held in our reference library.
Okay, and we will be posting for those meetings outside of the museum as well. Okay, thank you very much. Then moving on to item 3, which is...
Bill has his hands up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. I've got my back to the screen. Yes.
So we still get mileage?
Yes, the mileage and per diem for meal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then moving on to item 3 is a review of projects for survey required. Our first item is case number MS 2022-0004. The owner is Erickson Brothers Properties. The applicant is Robert Neese, and the agent is Ron Franz. The request is a minor subdivision of an existing 10 plus or minus acre parcel into 4 parcels and 1 remainder parcel. Parcel 1 would be 0.74 acres. Parcel 2 would be approximately 0.75 acres. Parcel 3 would be approximately 4.39 acres, and parcel 4 would be approximately 1.09 acres. The remainder parcel would be approximately 3.15 acres. Do we have anyone from the public who wishes to make comments on this item?
We have Robert Nisi. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
Okay. Mr. Nisi, you are the owner?
I am one of the owners.
One of the owners, okay.
I'm also the manager of Erickson Brothers Properties.
Okay, thank you. Did you have anything you'd like?
Yes.
You'd like to?
I would like to give some reasons that I don't believe that we need an archaeological study on this property. About 40% of this property was already done an archaeological study a few years ago. I think it was like 2007 or something like that. Also, if you look at the topography of the piece, there's a bank on the west side that's about 14 foot high. What I believe, and it was before my time, but what I believe went on there was when the land was sold or donated to the fair, I think that they cut this to fill where the racetrack is now at the fair was a great big pond. And I think that dirt was used there to fill that area down below there for the fairgrounds. So that's a huge cut that has been taken in there. As a young kid, I remember loading hay in there. So I think it was probably plowed, back then. The front third of that property, DeFati rented it, and he brought in base rock so that he could put his equipment in there. So a third of it's already got based all over it. And over the last 5 years, we've dozed that property multiple times to make it smooth. We bladed it, thinking with a greater thinking that we were going to put in hay or plant hay, and now I wish we had with the price of hay. But so that whole area has been, turned and plowed and reworked many times. I'm a resident project representative for SHN on a project in Big Valley in Lake County over there on a project. And I worked with cultural monitors all the time over there. And so I'm, aware of what they're looking for and have actually helped for it. I've never seen anything on this property that leads me to believe that there's anything there as far as cultural stuff.
Okay.
We would also be willing to, put something in that if we did any future construction, that if we ran across anything, that we would contact.
Could you hand me the map, please?
Oh, you mean the big map? I'll have to go get that. You have a copy? About the Native American map, correct?
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, if you're familiar with.
This in my mind. Okay, there's Canola Village here, Rose, Justice Park is here, the fairground down here.
Sure. It's right here. This is the Rayleighs. This is where the Carl's Jr. is, or was, and that's the field.
If you're familiar with the area right behind
So,
Kentucky Fried Chicken and all
And the Montessori school is just to the west.
Canolaville Ranch here would be right about.
Mr. Neese, do you have your speakers on? Can you mute them?
Russian River is coming.
Yeah, I do. I can hear you fine.
Roads.
We're getting a little feedback when we speak.
Area.
Yeah, no, I hear you fine.
I was born and raised here.
Sorry.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the area behind Kentucky Fried Chicken and I think it's Taco Bell or whatever, is that bank that's like a 14-foot cut right there. And I believe that soil was used to fill the area that was given to the fairgrounds down there. I don't know that for positive, but I think that's what happened.
Okay. Maybe if you could stay online. And commissioners have a question for you. And if you could mute yourself, I think that might fix our feedback issue.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, that worked. Okay. We have. I don't know what the sound is. We have project. Can you mute us for just a second?
There.
Okay. Can everyone hear us? Okay, that fits it. We have project planner Liam Crowley here. Do you have anything you want to add before we turn it over to the commission? Okay, thank you. Then I'll bring this back to the commission and for discussion. Any points anyone wants to bring up? Questions of the applicant or planner?
How close is this to the industrial park? Lois?
About a mile, I'm guessing. I'm not good at, visual things. But remember where Ore Springs Road is? Well, it's south of Ore Springs Road. Industrial Park is right across the street, State Street. Here's Pinoleville Rancheria, Ore Springs Road. Across the street is the Industrial Park, and then down the street, a little bit, the fairgrounds. Whatever, I'm not good at judging miles. Fourth of a mile, quarter of a mile.
Yeah, is the fairground on this map? Ford Street, is it north of Ford Street, the fairgrounds?
The fairground is south of Ford Street.
South,
South of this property?
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks like it's right across the street from Rayleigh's.
Exactly, yeah.
So you know where Rayleigh's is, that whole shopping center? This is like across the street from that.
We'd like to see that study that was done that shows the 40%, so we know what area was surveyed.
Right. I agree, Bill.
Mr. Neese, do you have that study? Mr. Neese, can you hear us? Okay, well, what I'm hearing from, oh, here he goes.
Yeah, I think it was probably done when they did this Rayleigh's subdivision. I mean, the Rayleigh's shopping center. That was probably where it was done. I'm not positive, but I'll see if I can find that.
If you could, Bill, are you suggesting, I'm sorry. Are we working now? Okay. Bill, are you suggesting then if this study that was done previously that covered the 40% was brought in, that we might consider then not requesting a survey for this project?
Well, no, because okay, that's only 40% of it, so there's still 60%. And I just would like to know what that survey said and how they did it and where it was. And another, also, in the office there, you guys have that big screen up there.
Yes.
Does it show any water courses crossing this property at any time in the past, or? How far are we from the Russian River?
I would estimate we are,
Not that far. You could walk down there.
it is, I would say less than a mile.
And then are there, on that, when you guys look at the map on that big screen you guys have in the office, are there any creeks that cross this property or in the past that have they been buried or culverted or?
I'm not,
I'm not seeing a wetland map,
I
but
don't
I
see-
could go back to my desk and pull it up. If I do that.
okay,
We just join the Zoom meeting.
want to do that? That'd be great. Planner Crowley's going to go back to his desk and pull up a wetlands map, and he will join us with Zoom and do a share screen if he identifies anything. Bill, my question to you, though, if the survey that demonstrates the survey that was done that covered 40%, if this property is within that survey, are you suggesting then if that survey looks good, that we would not require a new one for the applicant?
Well, we might require one for the 60%.
Okay.
And then, could the applicant demarcate? He was talking about that there's some area of the property that had a base rock cap. Can he demarcate what area that is?
Mr. Neese, can you
So
identify what area that was?
Mr. Neese, you're muted.
Yeah, that's from the Ford Road south for about the first third of the property there that they gravelled. The rest of it, like I say, we've dozed it a number of times and graded it. So it's all been worked pretty good. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and when we get to, oops, can you hear me?
Yes.
So when we get the previous survey and we know where that 40% was surveyed in relationship to what was capped, then there will be some area left over that we might consider another survey.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah, okay. Which might include a LiDAR analysis of that area that wasn't surveyed.
Okay. We have Planner Crowley back, who potentially has a wetlands map he could share with us.
Hi, this is Planner Crowley. If I could get promoted to panelist so I could share my screen, I'm not able to right now. There we go. Okay, hi. Let's see if I can share my screen here. Okay, hopefully everyone can see this. This is an aerial of the project site. I have the wetlands layer selected. Doesn't look like there's anything mapped in this for this parcel. Hopefully this also helps with identifying the location of it.
Okay, so we don't have any major creeks that are crossing this into the Russian River?
Not according to the layer that we have, the wetlands layer.
Yeah, it's in Ford Road.
It looks like the closest creek.
At the end of Ford Road, that's where Russian River goes through there.
Well, the Russian River then is east on the other side of 101, and then south, I think it's Ore Springs or Ore Creek.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest creek that's mapped.
So
So I have a question. You have a reference to the 40% being surveyed, and there's a number that goes with that. Do we have that study number 34129, ROOP 2007?
No, we do not, and
Do we know where that number refers to?
no, we'll have to reach out to California Historical Resource Information System to get that information. And Mr. Neese, I would suggest that as the applicant and property owner, that you would need to reach out and get that information from them. Do we have any other comments from any of the commissioners regarding this project? For Mr. Neese?
Well, if he reached, yeah, I mean, if he could ask for
Commissioner Lockhart?
Well, I would like to comment on the fact, number one, I was born and raised at Pinoleville Rancheria, so this area I'm very, very familiar with. And what concerns me is what's concerning Bill. Where is that 60%? What was the 40% that was reviewed, and why was the 60% left out? But however, I do know the history of the area, being the fact that many feet have trampled my people's footprints, so to speak, in that area for many years. But however, at the same time, it would behoove me as a Native American representative of the Pomo people here that I must say, let's be careful and cautious about that remaining 60%. Am I make myself clear?
yeah, so maybe this can come back to us when he gets the survey and we figure out where the gravel pack is and we figure out what area has been surveyed previously by who.
Absolutely. Okay.
Seems like it might be relevant to know how much subsurface disturbance there's going to be too. How deep are they going to go? They may be going below any capping that's already happened since then, or something like that, and getting into undisturbed soil. I mean,
Well, that's true.
sites there that have been capped over, and they're going to dig below those caps, so we don't know that. I
Okay.
don't think it mentions
I agree.
how much ground disturbance is going to be
Right,
done.
right. That's why I'm saying we need to be careful.
I don't believe any ground disturbance is proposed for this project. Planner Crowley, can you confirm that or correct that information?
Yeah, no, there's no development that was proposed as part of the subdivision application at this time.
That is not to say.
What I would probably recommend in the once we get the surveys and know where the cap is and what that consists of, I was going to probably recommend that in the future any subsurface excavations like buildings that require septic systems, any deep ground disturbances like septic systems, etc., for new buildings and pads and electrical utility lines, that an archaeologist be present for those kinds of deeper excavations.
Okay.
But that's ahead. That's a little bit ahead of where we are right now. So
Correct. Commissioner Dick, any further comments? You want to add anything? Commissioner Johnson? No? Commissioner Lockhart, any comments?
No further,
Different.
thank you.
Okay, then, based on the conversation, I'm going to make a motion, and I'll make the motion that we continue case number MS 2022-0004 to a date certain. We will bring it back at the next meeting, which would be March 9th, I believe. Is that correct?
Somewhere around there.
It would be March 8th.
March 8th. March 8th, 2023. with the survey referenced and the California Historical Resources Information System letter, study number 34129, done in 2007 by Roop. Do I have a second?
Second.
I second.
Okay. All right. Do a roll call then. Planning and Building Services is an aye. Museum representative?
Aye.
Archaeologist representative?
Aye.
Native American representative?
Aye.
And alternate representative?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Neese, Planner Crowley will get in touch with you regarding that, but we will see you then in the March meeting.
So does he
I'm sorry.
does he know how to,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner Cole.
does he know how to contact the Northwest Information Center at Sonoma State to get a hold of that study?
Yeah, I will. I or Planner Crowley will reach out to him with those directions.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Neese, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, not at this time.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. So that brings us to item then 4A. This is case number U2022-0001. The owner is T.H. Shamrock. The applicant agent is Sean Simpson. The request is a major use permit for installation of a shotgun rifle and pistol firearms range on the existing Shamrock Ranch. The location is approximately 4.8 miles south of Laytonville on the east side of Highway 101 at its intersection with Old Sherwood Road. It is located at 40935 North Highway 101 in Laytonville, parcel number 035-290-19. And do we have anyone in attendance on this?
Looks like we have Sean.
Sean, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, welcome. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the commission before we turn it over for discussion?
Other than there was no plans for any kind of ground disturbance there. It's just all going to be on top. Any targets with backstops is going to be brought in with above ground targets and backstops, so we can use for clean out and I would still have a safe backstop.
All right, thank you. And anyone from the public calling in to comment on this?
We don't have anyone from the public.
Okay. Then with that, I'm going to turn it over to the commission. This is a review of the survey to see if we can accept it and allow the project to move forward.
I have to have exactly the same thing. Is that someone's?
It sounded like someone's dog. I was very excited about this project. So commissioners, any comments, questions of Mr. Simpson?
Well, the archaeological survey was excellent, and the recommendations are quite clear. I do have a question about on page 20. So there are four. I think there are six. There are 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 archaeological sites that were identified and need to be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
And on page 20, for the management recommendations, number 2 at the bottom of page 20, it says all parties, project manager or archaeologist will review the plans. But then on page 21, prior to commencement of operations, an archaeological surveyor or archaeologist familiar with the site shall demarcate the cultural resources. And the project manager and archaeologists will review the plans. Which is kind of confusing because it says project manager. Well, I don't want to leave it up to the project manager. I want to make sure that the archaeologist is involved, as is stated on page 21, that all parties, project manager and archaeologist, will review the plans. And an archaeologist will also special conditions number 3 will make sure that STZ flagging will be maintained so that any ground disturbance within those cultural resource areas won't be disturbed. So if we make sure that an archaeologist is involved in identifying those areas for avoidance, we don't just leave it up to the project manager, but that an archaeologist oversees it is what I'm getting out of the recommendations.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would approve.
Okay. Other commissioners, Commissioner Dick, any comments? Commissioner Lockhart, Commissioner?
Absolutely. I completely agree with Bill. This again is sensitive area. This is Caddo people, Laytonville. And again, you know, we're a mobile people. We're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our cultural way of living. And so it's extremely important that the applicant realize that if there's sensitive areas and areas of avoidance, that's a heads up. So that's my thought.
Okay. Thank you. And Commissioner Johnson, any thoughts?
It doesn't sound like there's going to be a lot of ground disturbance, but a lot of these sites are very superficial. They're surface lithic scatters, and if there are people wandering around, you have to make sure that they're not collecting, you know, that they're not finding things and deciding that that's, you know, very cool, they've got a point to take home or something like that. So flagging sort of marks off where these places are. And I'm wondering where the sites are relative to where the shooting range is going to be. And if it can be, the sites can be maybe discreetly protected instead of, you know, flagging saying, oh, here we go. Here's the interesting stuff over here.
Right. Well,
it doesn't sound like there's going to be, you know, much activity going on in terms of, it's just lithic scatters disappear easily.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people are going to come in for these activities, but
there's also some of those are midden sites as well, habitation sites. So the whole idea is the archaeologists to work with the manager so that when they do put in their background shooting range target places, that they will know where these resources are, so they will avoid pelting them with gunshots or ammo or whatever. So I think the whole idea was for the manager to work with the archaeologists to make sure that they set up the range appropriately.
right.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Mr. Simpson, you had a comment?
Yes, sir. If you look on page 22 of the map, it'll indicate the borderline of where the shooting range is on the top right corner. So the sites are kind of on the edge of where the shooting range would be, and we can identify it through the map and with the archaeologists there at the time if we put any backstops up.
Okay. And can I just ask a
Yeah.
quick, Okay,
I think that's the whole idea to, once you decide where your backstops are, i.e. your manager at that point or before that point would be working with an archaeologist to make sure your backstops are gonna avoid any of the sites. So I would approve the survey as long as it is known that an archaeologist worked with the manager prior to installation of backstops or roads or any other ground disturbing areas that might be necessary for you to develop your shooting range, that the manager and the archaeologist work together to make sure those things are worked out with the archaeologist.
thank you.
That's kind of basically what the recommendations are saying already, so.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Okay, based on.
Excuse me, Lois Lockhart. I just wanted to say, I didn't say earlier, but, I was concerned about that. I'm not that familiar with firing range, but I am familiar because I have family in law enforcement. And so if they're going to be digging down to put up a shield or however their plan is, that thought came to my mind also. Thank you, Bill, for that. I agree with that point.
Yeah, my main point is that, like on page 20, that it's not project manager or archaeologist, but it's both.
Yes, I agree.
So,
which is also indicated on page 21. I just wanted to clarify that.
So what I can do, what I'm going to suggest then is, if there's no other comments from commissioners, I'd like to make a motion to accept the survey, and in this case include the 5 recommended special conditions made by Alta, and also add our discovery clause into that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I would agree with that.
All
What
right.
do you think, Bill?
Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna make this motion. It's gonna be lengthy because I'm gonna have to read this into the record. So I make a motion that we accept a survey for case number U-2022-0001 with the following special conditions. Prior to the commencement of operations, the project manager and archaeological surveyor will ensure that all special treatment zones are clearly described and illustrated in plans and specifications. Condition 2, all parties, project manager and archaeologist will review the plans. Condition 3, prior to commencement of operations, an archaeological surveyor or professional archaeologist familiar with the site shall demarcate all sites with special treatment zone flagging. Exclusionary flagging will be based on the site sketch map. No buffer around the site boundary is required for special condition sites. Special treatment zone flagging that is older than 6 months will be inspected and refreshed prior to operations. Number 4, no grading shall occur within the special treatment zone. Number 5, an archaeological surveyor or professional archaeologist will periodically inspect sites to ensure that best management practices are effective and that special treatment zone has not been breached. And condition 6, the discovery clause will apply to this project. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I heard Commissioner Lockhart second first. So roll call then. Planning and Building Services as an aye. Museum representative?
Aye.
Archaeologist representative?
Well, as far as the flagging remaining up, I think that once the manager and the archaeologist work together to figure out where the ground disturbance is going to be, then from that time on, I'm not sure that it's necessary for the flagging to be there. But then this archaeologist from Alta is recommending that it be there, but one of our members had a concern about
It
about
just draws
the
attention
flagging.
to it. Draws attention to it, and it sounds like they were almost covered by ground cover when they did the survey. They said it was very difficult to even find some of the areas, so it might be more discreet just to have them be in their natural condition. Once everything's been placed so that they're not being disturbed by the activities.
So obvious.
So,
Yeah,
flag them during construction
And then.
and then remove the flags. Okay, so
You want to amend it?
I'm going to amend then, let's see, so I've read all those into the record, but condition number 3, well, we'll add a condition then. So we'll add condition number 7, which will be, once operations for the shooting range commence and are open to the public, all special treatment zone flagging shall be removed.
yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Alrighty, so then I made the motion. Do I need a second on that new motion?
Second.
Second,
Okay, heard Commissioner Johnson first. So roll call again. PBS is a yes. Museum representative,
Yes.
archaeologist representative,
yes,
Native American representative,
Yes.
and alternate representative.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. Mr. Simpson, thank you, and I will get those conditions to you as soon as possible.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to item number 5 is matters from staff. I think I spoke about, yes. So our last Zoom meeting today, we will go back to in-person in March, and we discussed that we have an alternate location now at the museum where Commissioner Dick will be, that is open to the public and to any commissioners as well. And then we will also have the meeting here in Ukiah.
So how is that different than a Zoom meeting? I mean, if you're in 2 locations and you're trying to share.
The difference is that the room that Commissioner Dick will be working from will be available to the public.
Okay.
So anyone who doesn't want to travel down from North County to here now has an option.
And
in
then
Willits.
it's shared.
And it's shared, yeah.
Just like-
So there will be a small audience potentially. And likewise for commissioners, if they want to join there, that's an
And is this a
option.
public room as well?
Yes, this will be open to the public starting next month as well.
Okay.
And that is all I have. Anything from you, Jocelyn?
Nope, nothing.
Okay, moving on to matters from commission. Anything from commissioners?
No.
No? Okay, matters from the public. Anyone
We don't
calling?
have any members of the public.
If any matters of the public or members of the public out there want to speak, raise your hand.
Valerie, do you want to say something?
Okay, seeing none, I am going to motion that we adjourn today's Archaeological Commission meeting at 2:58 p.m. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. We will see you in March.
All right.
yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is what it's so